Hey, welcome to Born SuperHuman. So today I have the most incredible guest that I didn't even know who I was inviting onto the show until after meeting her and then going back and doing some research. You have an incredible power that's an author, has their own podcast, is an actress. I got to say actor these days. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm really excited because when you meet people that take control of their life, they also can help others achieve their goals. So with that being said, welcome Athena Vas.
All right. Well, there was one history project where we discussed Eli Whitney and how he invented the cotton gin. So one of our school projects was to create something around that. So my parents helped me create an actual cotton gin. Yes, my big fat Greek wedding is so true in every way. So true. The only thing that's not true is the Windex.
Okay.
But I'm like a big advocate for be proud of who you are. Be proud of wherever you come from, whatever your country is. Who cares if people hate it? They're just jealous and they don't understand you and they don't have to understand you. I never wanted to be a mathematician. I did it because my mom made me do something not acting related. I felt from a child I had to be an actress. I'm a little child, 4 years old when I did the ice skating. I always wanted to perform, be in movies, be in TV shows. And my mom took me when I was a kid to do the commercials and TV shows. They loved me. It was a cute little baby. I actually looked almost exactly like the Olsen twins. Everyone tries as hard as they can try. I have a wonderful manager who loves me, but at the end of the day, agents and managers, they do their job, which is just submitting you. No one actually goes out and does the work except for you. If you're not doing your part, you're not taking acting classes, you're not networking, you're not going and creating your own film and your own stuff, putting on your own performances, you're not going to go anywhere. I ended up winning my first show in 3 categories. I won overall and all 3 categories is my second show, which qualified me to go to the Olympia and the Olympia Amateur. And I was just so excited that I can do that and get to compete and perform on stage. And it makes me feel so alive. I love it. I love lifting weights and looking good. And I love it.
I'm Dan Metcalfe. Thank you for tuning into the Born Superhuman podcast. I'm so proud of the guests and stories that we bring to you, and I know that you'll enjoy what we have ahead. Please like, subscribe, and follow. It really makes a huge difference in our ability to continue these conversations being brought to you. And if you feel the passion behind Born Superhuman, please share it with your friends and family and leave a comment. I read every one. Now, let's get on with the show. Hey, welcome to Born SuperHuman. So today I have the most incredible guest that I didn't even know who I was inviting onto the show until after meeting her and then going back and doing some research. You have an incredible power that's an author, has their own podcast, is an actress. I got to say actor these days. And then I actually met her at the Olympia event last week where she competed in the fit amateur division of Olympia, did incredible, and then I found out has a degree in mathematics, a degree in theater, has her master's in special education, has 60 credits toward the PhD. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm really excited because when you meet people that take control of their life, they also can help others achieve their goals. So with that being said, welcome Athena Vas.
Thank you so much. What an introduction. As you can see, my username here, it says Miss S because I still teach students SAT math and pre-calculus and whatever math help that some of my students need that I've had from years ago. I can't let them go. They need my help and I still help them even till this day.
It's incredible. Like I said, I'm still kind of, I don't want to say in shock, but I'm still, this is a completely different podcast than I thought because of your knowledge and intelligence. So
Thank you.
before we get started, I want you to take us back to when you were a young girl. Tell us about your life growing up because where you are today is a byproduct of the journey you had from this young girl, because people don't just become driven to achieve so much. Take us through your early years.
Yeah, sure. So I was always a very my mom used to call me my daughter Athena. She was always an unusual kid since a child. So by that, she meant I always was looking to perform. Any chance I could get, I would perform. So if my school teacher would say, "All right, so you're going to have an English project, or there's going to be a history project," and you know how you have like your social studies projects where you pick one thing and then you create it, right? It's like a show and tell type of thing. So every year a kid would make something and then that was it. But like I would not only create a project, I would dress up as a character and um, perform explaining the topic. So what one year I had, it was, yeah, I'm gonna go into a whole story, but I just always loved to perform. And the main goal was always to just make people laugh and enjoy and have a good time. And everyone loved my performances.
So I'm going to tell you to tell us the story because now you started, you can't hold back. Tell us the story.
All right. Well, there was one history project where we discussed Eli Whitney and how he invented the cotton gin. So one of our school projects was to create something around that. So my parents helped me create an actual cotton gin, which is out of wood. So it was insane. So of course I always helped them with it, but I wanted to add to it. So I asked my mom to help me buy a costume. So we went and we got supplies and I dressed up as Eli Whitney and I put on a Southern accent and I performed like what the cotton gin is and what it and how it operated. And then the teacher loved it so much that he got the school principal to watch it. And then she loved it so much that they had me perform it for all the earlier grades, like multiple times.
Was that your first experience into actually performing in front of it? Because obviously you performed a lot, but was that like where you went,
No.
okay, I've got to get on stage?
No, actually it wasn't. My first time was when I was 3. I was a competitive figure skater putting on theatrical showcases on the ice.
Brilliant.
So it wasn't intended to be that way. It was supposed to be a serious, beautiful, elegant routine like the rest of the little girls. And I'll never forget, I was 3 and it was my first year skating. And there was this other little girl, Jessica, and she had this beautiful little dress on. And I'm like, Mommy, I was like, what is she doing? I was like, I'm not wearing a nice dress like that. She's like, you can't. She's performing later. And I was like, why can't I perform? And she's like, because you're only 3. That's for the 4-year-olds. And I said, well, what do I have to do what she's doing? She's like, well, you have to practice all year. I was like, so I want to practice all year. She's like, well, you're going to have to do extra lessons and go off ice training. So I said, so then let's do it. So then that sparked something in me. And then I went before school to skate, after school, got off ice training so that I can start doing these competitions. But when it was time to do it, the spotlight number, you're supposed to just do something quirky and fun, but serious and elegant, where I created a comedy show and they went to the judges and I was like, doing these little skits and stuff and they were just laughing. And when they were so serious with everyone else, like they were smiling and laughing with me. And it made me so happy to watch everyone smiling at what I can do. And it just made me love performing. And that's what brought out my acting abilities. And it's the only time in my life where I feel alive is when I'm performing. Like so happy. And when I'm not doing it, it's like there's something missing. And then when I go perform, I'm like, oh my God, that was it. It was the performance that I'm missing.
Yeah, and I have to say, on your social media, I can see your performance. Well, when you go, I saw one of you on the red carpet, and everyone's standing there with the music playing nice and easy, and you're stealing the red carpet in a good way. So, it's great when you can live your authentic self. Now, I know you have a Greek background. Your family is Greek, correct?
Yes, I'm Greek American. So I'm actually third generation. What that means is my grandma's born in New York, my mom's born in New York, and I'm born in New York. So I'm third generation Greek. Father's born in Greece, but everybody has always been Greek.
So tell me, with the we always go to the my big fat Greek wedding. Is your family that close? Because it's great to see we're living in a world now where there's not a lot of culture, where there's not a lot of closeness. And yet, I'm a big believer that that's so important for the development of the child to be free to play and find out who they are. Do you have that type of family?
Yes, yes. My big fat Greek wedding is so true in every way. So true. The only thing that's not true is the Windex.
Okay.
But I'm like a big advocate for be proud of who you are. Be proud of wherever you come from, whatever your country is. Who cares if people hate it? They're just jealous and they don't understand you and they don't have to understand you. I think we should all be proud of our ancestors, be proud of our heritage. And that's why I represent Greece so much because I feel so lucky to be Greek. And if you're Italian, you should be lucky to be Italian. If you're Irish, you should be lucky to be Irish. And any other heritage nationality, you should feel lucky to be born that way because that is how it was intended for you to be.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Obviously, my home country is England. I will always be English and proud to live in America as well. But I'm a big believer. I've lived in 7 different countries, and every time I respected that culture and assimilated with them, not expecting them to change for me. And I learned so much more from being around other cultures than expecting them to fit mine. So I love what you're saying. Are you more like your mum or more like your dad then when it comes to the performing? Because you got such a drive. Where does that come from? Or is it a grandparent?
You're gonna think this is crazy. It comes from absolutely no one.
Really? Tell us.
No one is like me in that sense. No one. It's crazy. My mom's a detective before she passed away.
Oh,
So, yeah, and my grandma is a dancer. My mom was not a dancer, you know. I don't know where it comes from. I really don't know where it comes from, but it's like this fire within me that it can't stop. And I feel like this was my destiny to make people happy, which whatever that means. It's just performing for me. That word is very one dimensional to most people. Oh, just on a stage. For me, that doesn't exist. Performing is any aspect of getting up and being in a room in front of a lot of people in any way. It's just making everyone laugh. Even me, like on a podcast as a host, like when I'm hosting, that's like me performing, even though it's not like rehearsed. I'm just like large and it's not fake. It's me, but it's a different version of me, you know? And like I have my serious side because I'm so serious when it comes to business and work. I'm not laughing. I'm not joking around. I'm serious. And it's like I have so many different sides to my personality, just depending on my environment.
which takes me back to you growing up. So you obviously are very intelligent because when we look at your education and what you've achieved with that, when you went to college, and I'm presuming, and I shouldn't presume, but I'm going to, that math is something that comes natural to you, but you work hard for it. When you went to college and went to go and get your degrees and masters, did you see that as your future, or was acting something that you always were going to do, and that was something that would give you a foundation?
Great question. I never wanted to be a mathematician. I did it because my mom made me do something not acting related. I felt from a child I had to be an actress. I'm a little child. 4 years old when I did the ice skating. I always wanted to perform, be in movies, be in TV shows. And my mom took me when I was a kid to do the commercials and TV shows. They loved me. It was a cute little baby. I actually looked almost exactly like the Olsen twins. People compared me to them all the time as a child, and they also said I look like a little porcelain doll. So my mom was so nervous that I was gonna get kidnapped. There was a time where like there's a lot of kidnappings going on, especially in my area. So my mom put me on a leash. She was so nervous. She was so scared. He was so scared. But yeah. So she brought me to those auditions and they said, "All right, miss, we're gonna take your child and you're gonna have to stay in the other room and you're gonna have to let us do what we need to do to get her to be on camera and whatever." My mom said, "No way in hell. We're going." And then we just left. She's a hardcore New Yorker, my mom. Like she's Greek, but Greek New Yorker. And yeah, because of that. my acting career was, not what it could have been. And I just did theater locally wherever I could. And then in college, that's when I got into off Broadway and I loved it. It made me feel alive again. And every time I got cast, since I was a kid, they'd always put me as the comedic role. Every time. Not intentionally, like it just happened. And then everyone would always laugh so much. Like they loved it. And it made me I love making people happy and laughing. Like bringing a smile and joy just brings me life.
Interesting though, because obviously as an actress, you can play multiple different roles. Did you get to the point where you wanted to play the serious character
Yes.
because everybody saw you as the comedian? And then
Yes.
you're like, hang on, there's more to me than that.
Yes. So I studied with top of the top in the acting schools. Ivana Chubbuck, Rod Roland, James Sassone, Margie Haber, Howard Fine, all the greats. I even went to Groundlings for improv as well, which I love. And yeah, yeah, Tom Hanks actually recommended that I do Groundlings. He's like, because he was the one who actually changed my viewpoint because I was trying so hard not to do comedy because I wanted to be known as a dramatic actress so that I can eventually win an Oscar for a dramatic role, and it takes so much out of you going through that pain again, like the method acting,
Mm.
and I kind of didn't like it. It puts me in such a sad place, and I'm just so happy. I'm such a happy character. Like I don't really want to even play a sad character unless I have to. But like if I had to make a choice, I would choose comedy because Tom Hanks was like, he's like, why are you forcing yourself to do drama? He's like, even if you're good at it, like if everyone loves you doing comedy, then why don't you just stick to comedy? Go to Groundlings. And I was like, okay. If Tom Hanks said that I should go to Groundlings, I'm just gonna go to Groundlings. Who
I've got,
knows better?
yeah, I've got to jump in here because um, the Groundlings was founded by Gary Austin and incredible mentor, very personally close friend, probably the greatest teacher I ever had. And when he passed away, I was invited to be the last speaker at his event, and you had Helen Hunt and Pee Wee Herman and Mark DeCustos and all these different people. And the reason I interrupt is if you get a chance to go to the Groundlings, if you get a chance to go and do improvisation, for me it was the greatest. And I just trained Shakespeare, I trained everything, and for me, I wish I had done it earlier. That's where Will Ferrell went, and so many different people. So it's great to hear you went there, and it is. It's a great education in being human in pretend circumstances.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So jumping from that, you now go on to off Broadway, like you said. What was that experience like? Because Broadway itself has such a huge name to it, and it is the place of dreams, living dreams. Was there a favorite show you did? Were you more into the straight acting? Was it more, did you like musicals? Could you sing? Tell me about your performing
Yeah.
side.
So, performing side, the difficult thing about theater is that everything mostly musicals, and I'm not a singer. Until recently, I actually discovered that I do have a voice. I just never trained it or even thought I had one. Till literally like last year, maybe 2 years ago, I'm like, wow, this is something I'd like to maybe try. But that's another topic. But yeah, growing up, like I never thought I can sing at all. So they always gave me the biggest part they could that was a non-singing role, which would be like one of the comedy, the comedy part in it. So even if it was a serious show, they would give me the comedy part. But going to that was regular theater, not off Broadway. So once I went off Broadway, um, they always made me the show opener every time. Every time I took that as the biggest compliment, and they always gave me a comedy routine, and it would be a solo. And every time, like I wish I did more of like the improv where after Groundlings you have the company. Like I think I would excel doing, like I know I would excel doing that, but I never had the opportunity. So I just was always the show opener, opening it up with comedy, and it was showcases. So everyone was just doing a different piece.
Sure. Yeah, again, for people that don't understand the groundlings, they have their own theatre. They have a second theatre, the G3, which is actually named after Gary. And their classes are great. There's a structure to it. It's not just going in there and being silly. Or trying to make people laugh. It's letting your own natural self come out, which is, again, what's great, Athena, is when you have it naturally, you don't have to try. And it becomes such great entertainment. I've been fortunate enough to perform on the stages, both on the main stage and there as well. So it's just a brilliant thing. But then you went from that. When did you move out to LA and why did you move? Because theater we know in LA is not what it is in New York.
There's nothing like New York for theater.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing, nothing. The great talented actors, yes, but you don't come here for theater. You come here for TV and film. And that's what I came out here for. And I came out here in January 6th, 2022.
Okay. And was that just I'm going, or was there a plan? Was there a project you were coming out for specifically? What was the adventure you went on there?
So prior to that, I won the Bachelor of Greece. And at the Bachelor show here in America, it's the same show, just filmed in Greece. It's Warner Brothers. I won the show, but winning the show took a lot out of me. Winning the show meant that I was there for 6 months. So being there for 6 months, remember, on reality shows, you don't have the TV, you don't have phone, you can't know what time it is. You basically are a prisoner to them. And no one knows that. So everyone thinks that it's very glamorous. I go on all these dates. It's not what it appears to be at all. You're actually held captive and you can't leave. So I will only leave the house maybe once a week to go on my date. And once you go on the date, it's really only like a 5 minute date. On the screen, it looks like large and big, but it's just those 5 minutes but then it's like 20 hours of waiting around. Then you don't have access to anything, nothing. Like you can't eat your own food, you can't go anywhere, you can't even use the bathroom when you want to use the bathroom, like because it's closed at that time. And like Greece is very different from America, but it was very traumatic, but
Hmm.
it was also very freeing because it allowed me to hear my thoughts. And while everybody else was going a little bonkers, it gave me clarity on who I am and my life and what direction I need to take. That was actually the first time I've ever read a book. I was so desperate in my life for something that I begged them, can I please have a book? And I had my friend buy me 10 books, and I read all 10 books in 21 days. I've never read a book in my life before that. So that gained me so much clarity because every day I'd wake up and I'd go on the balcony and I would say, I'm so grateful to even be alive right now. People are in the hospitals. People have trachs in their throat. They don't can't even breathe their own air. I'm lucky that I'm alive. It doesn't matter if I'm stuck here. I'm alive and I'm breathing my own air. I'm so lucky. And then I asked myself the question, when I go back to America, where do I go that's going to make me where I want to die tomorrow? Like if I were to die tomorrow, where do I want to be? And my answer was, well, sure as hell not New York. I don't want to die in New York. Everyone's miserable and angry there. So I'm like, I gotta go to Los Angeles and make my dreams come true because nobody's gonna do it for me. And one day you're not gonna wake up. So I have to do it now. So what I did was, as soon as I got back, I left everything there. Everything. I left my car. I left my dog with my friend. There's a story to that. He's okay. He's a little savior dog, so he's healing people. And yeah, I literally came with the clothes on my back and I donated everything I owned to charity.
Did you have somewhere to stay, or was this just
No, no.
so? How did you find somewhere to stay? I mean, you get
I
off
didn't,
the
I wasn't
plane.
poor. I wasn't poor. When I went back, like before I went on the Bachelor, I saved up a bunch of money to quit my teaching job. So I used that money to come out to LA. So I didn't have a place to stay, but you have a couple $100. Not saying I had more than that, but like if you have a couple $100, you can go stay at a hotel. You don't need a place to stay. You don't need a plan. You don't need a plan. All you need is an end goal. I want to be here, and the how will figure itself out. So that's what happened. I came off the plane. I had a little backpack of makeup and I think a pair of underwear, and just what you saw me wearing, and that was it. And I just booked, like, I wanted something that I could manifest my future. So I was manifesting living I was manifesting being on Netflix. So I rented a long-term stay hotel. It was called the Metropolitan in Hollywood, and it made me so happy. It was like this little loft, and it was right in front of Hollywood. I would wake up and see, right in front of the Netflix sign. I would wake up and see the beautiful sunrise. And every day I would say, I'm going to be on Netflix. I'm going to be on Netflix. I'm going to be something. I'm going to be on a TV show. I'm going to be on a TV show. And sure enough, I was on a TV show, just not Netflix. It was Hulu. But now Netflix is buying Hulu. So I think it kind of came true.
Well, you got a lot more ahead of you as well, and there's always Netflix shows, and I know you're still pursuing that avenue
Yeah.
as well because it's who you are.
Yeah.
One thing I love is that, and I did the same thing coming from England, except I bought 4 bags and a tent because I didn't know where I was going to stay, and I had to put a tent up in the woods. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But when you want something bad enough, you find a way. And that's what it is, as you're saying. You'll get off the plane and you will find a way, whatever it is. There's always a solution. So I love that. So jumping forward from that, agent, did you find an agent pretty easy? How did that work out?
Yes. So I am very lucky and grateful to find someone I love very much, who guided me in it's called the business of acting, the Hollywood Winners Circle. Wendy Elaine Wright. She manages talent and she guides people and actors. So before I came out here, I had my entire package ready. So what package means is you have literally everything, your actors access links, your casting networks links, you have your headshot, you have your resume, you have the headshot and resume properly aligned and formatted for an agent to take you serious. I have my business cards, I have my mail out printing cards, I have media press kit. I have everything ready to go. I have articles written about me. Like, I did all that groundwork over the last couple of years while I was in New York. So, it made me more marketable, I guess. And it was difficult to find one, but w because I had all that, it was easier to pitch myself. But when finding representation, what I noticed is, being in LA, if you're authentic, the right people will find you.
Hmm.
And I found many agents that wanted to work with me, but it's not the right fit. So if I saw it wasn't the right fit, I want somebody to treat me like family, because that's how I treat the people that I work with. I want people to really believe in me and want me to succeed. So if I feel like it's like a factory agency where I'm just like a number, like, I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to feel like someone loves me, someone wants me to succeed, and I want them to succeed because I want to give back to the person who helped me, So right now meh, I have an agent, but yeah, at first it seemed like really nice and everything. And everyone tries as hard as they can try. I have a wonderful manager who loves me, but at the end of the day, agents and managers, they do their job, which is just submitting you. No one actually goes out and does the work except for you. If you're not doing your part, you're not taking acting classes, you're not networking, you're not going and creating your own film and your own stuff, putting on your own performances, you're not going to go anywhere. Actors out here, they think they're going to come here and your agents and managers are going to magically appear all these roles. And because they're not submitting you, blah, blah, blah. No, no, you got to do the work, period. And if the opportunity arises, then it will come to you. But you have to make your own stuff these days. There's slim pickings out there.
Yeah, I want to say first off, congratulations because it's so easy to sell your soul in Hollywood. I've seen it happen time and time and time again where someone's so hungry for the job that they stop being who they are. And obviously, that's not you. Secondly, the word is show business, and business is the bigger word. If you take care of the business, the show will come. And that's what you did before you came out here, having everything there, which was fantastic. And then I look at it and go, when a fighter gets into a ring, you have the coach. You have the cut man, you have the trainer, all these different people, but you're the one that has to get in the ring. And an agent normally would take 10%. There's different, whether it's a manager, it might be a little bit higher. But when they're taking 10%, you say, well, then in that case, I should be doing 90% of the work. But I say, no, you should still be doing 100% of the work because a fighter doesn't get into the ring and say, I'll fight 90% because my cut man is making 10%. It's still you. And I love your attitude. I love that you recognize that because, like you said, no one's going to put you into stardom more than you will. And if that's what you are passionate about, go get it.
Thank you. And honestly, if I had $1 every time I heard somebody saying, I have a script, I have a script, I have a script, like I used to say I have a script, and now I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna be like one of those people. I'm like, I'm gonna make my pitch deck. I'm gonna make my everything that I need to make and have all my ducks in a row. I'm not telling nobody I have a script because at this point, everybody and their mother has a script. And it kind of just makes you look a little like, I have a script. It's like, oh God,
Right.
this guy.
Yeah, no, I love it because, again, I learned not early enough, but and now stay quiet. Don't tell people what you're doing. Go do it. Because often the expectation puts a negative pressure on you that now you've revealed it, everyone's expecting, and when it doesn't work out, they're judging you. Nobody needs to be judged. It's like just do
I
what you
know.
do and have the passion. So now we got to jump forward. The Olympia event. Here you are, and I'm going to go back in a minute. Okay, let me go back first before we get to that. Going on to the Greek Bachelor, you won it. What does that mean? Because from what I understand, and I've never watched that show, and I've only seen a couple of moments of The Bachelor here. Doesn't that mean you marry the guy?
Yeah, you get engaged.
And what happened?
Well, I got deported, so that ended.
Tell me about that. That's a classic. You win, you're engaged, and then you get deported. Tell me
It's
what
just
happened.
it's so unfair. I so badly wanted to meet my future mother-in-law for Christmas and everything. And like I was so excited that I won and I couldn't wait to see him outside the TV show because I wanted just to be free and just be alone. And then I'm getting shipped back to America because they're like, your visa expired. I was like, I don't care, I'll hide in his house. I'm like, no, they're gonna find you. You have to go home. I'm like,
How was that? Because obviously you loved him as well. I mean, to have that excitement,
yeah.
were you able to stay in contact? Did he come here? Or because that's got to be one of the sadnesses then
Yeah,
in the
yes.
life.
I wish he would have came here. Like I wanted him to come here. He didn't want to come. I'm like, okay, I guess you don't care enough. Whatever, I think everything's a blessing and it did hurt me. Like I really wanted him to come here. Like if I can't go there, okay, but you can come here. And the distance just, I guess the love's not strong enough if the distance, is too far. Because for me, I have a real mentality where it's very old school and it's like a ride or die mentality where I'll climb mountains for you. I'll go to Timbuktu for you. And, not everybody thinks like that. It's a very rare, very old school mentality. And it's like built inside of me.
That's where you'll find your happiness, though, by sticking with that, because it's too easy to jump around off of a moment rather than that old school. And I'm very old school as far as standards, the way I am, the commitment, to your journey path. Do you think there was a change in that? And I have to ask this question. When and I don't know what it's like in Greece, but over here, you become a celebrity, right? Immediate. That adds more pressure to your life or makes you think differently of yourself if you're not fully grounded. Did that happen to you and did that happen to him a little bit, do you think, as well, that obviously affects the relationship?
Forget about it. I couldn't even walk out the door without screaming fans coming and finding me. They hired two bodyguards to follow me around. It got so bad. And they even hired a hair guy to put a red wig on me. It was insanity because in Greece, it wasn't just Greece, it was the entire Greek population in the world. Like in Australia, in Germany, I had New Zealand, I had Canada, I had Florida, I had like all the states, and the amount of fan messages was like so crazy. I remember I would open my DMs and I would answer like 100 messages and it took me like over an hour to respond. And as soon as I responded to those 100, boom, another 100 populated. And I'm like, what the hell? I had 350 fan pages created for me. It was insanity. And I couldn't go anywhere in Greece without someone like running up to me and screaming. Like I had fans like crying for me. I went, and that was in 2022, 2020, end of 2021. But like I just went back to Greece like a month ago. I don't know if you saw the video of all the fans. I
I
should pin that. I should pin that to my page. I went to the store to buy my goddaughter a cross, and I had like 15 kids screaming for me, and they were all surrounded by me. It was like the cutest thing in the world. And the craziest part is this feels so normal to me from day one. Like having the bodyguards around me, and like holding my umbrella for me while we're in the middle of the middle of nowhere where I squatted down and had to pee because there was no toilets. Like it just felt normal. I was like, yeah, this is a day in my life. Screaming fans and peeing in a bush with while my bodyguard holds my umbrella. It felt nice. It felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. It felt completely normal in every way.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I remember when I was touring Japan with Andrew Lloyd Webber, and we
Whoa.
had bodyguards and but I never forgot that the reason I was there was because of the fans and the fact that I could have 2.5 hours on stage. My job wasn't to be a superstar. My job was to let those that came in and investing 2.5 hours in their time of life to leave the theatre with more belief or excitement or happiness or trust that there was a better future from the stories I was telling. And I think that comes across with you though. Like you realize the impact you're making on people to get them excited. We're just
Yeah.
benefactors of the attention. So and it keeps us going as well, because the happier we make people, the more we're fulfilled.
It makes me really happy. And going back to Greece recently, it keeps reminding me because I get so caught up in everything else that I'm doing, which is a lot of different things. So I keep getting these reminders like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. And then the last few weeks where I was there, it just reminded me again, like I'm supposed to inspire the youth, like the youth of the world too, because there's so many impressionable kids who people put them down. And that's why you have miserable and angry adults because they were hurt from kids and it damaged them. And now they grew up to be angry adults. So like I want to reach the kids so that they can heal or prevent them from getting hurt so that the world can be better.
Yeah, it's interesting because you used the word trauma when you talked about being on The Bachelor in Greece and the trauma that you were going through with the isolation and limitations and
Yeah.
freedom. And we know that childhood trauma is it doesn't reveal itself till later on in life, often and in relationships. After that, did you go and how did you overcome the trauma? Was that your own revelation of going through it? Was there therapy? Was there someone special you spoke to and it helped you overcome that? Because it doesn't just disappear.
I created my own therapy while I was on The Bachelor. I was there for 6 months in isolation. There's times where when the other girls would go on a date, so for example, there's 25 girls to paint the picture, 25 girls. Only one girl gets chosen for the date. And that one date will take all day from morning to after midnight. And then after midnight, you have to all do your confession booth. So you wake up at 6 a.m. and you don't go to bed till maybe 4 a.m. If if that, sometimes you go a little earlier depending on what number in line you are to confess. But like I barely got any sleep, and you're not allowed to take a nap because if you take a nap, you may miss something. So and there's no TV. You can't talk to anyone. Like
Mhm.
I would go outside. I would sneak out because you're not supposed to leave, but I would sneak out and I would go on the hammock and I would look up in the sky and I would just ask for clarity and answers. And there's certain things that I would do that I had to develop because I was isolated. So I had to keep myself sane so that I can win. Because the only goal was to win. I'm not going there to lose. So like, I need to be okay. I need to figure shit out so that I can be okay. And I did. And I wrote my first book called Fuck It in light of that. And I put everything in there that I've done to succeed and to overcome my trauma. And I can truly say that I've overcame my trauma because I had 6 months in isolation and I wrote everything I did in that book.
That's brilliant. I mean, I'm a big believer in we can solve our own trauma if we face it honestly and don't see ourselves as a victim. We see ourselves as our own hero leading ourselves out. That's just my take on it. My mum's a world-renowned psychotherapist, and we all have our own views. But on the show, were there other American Greek people there? Were they all homeland Greek? And did you fit in with the other girls? Is that one of the reasons that you were isolated?
I was bullied the entire time. The entire time, nobody saw because it's behind the scenes. It was awful how they treated me. Um, you know what? They saw it on camera too. The audience knows how they treated me. That's why I was the fan favorite because while everyone was so angry and mean, like I'm the bubbly one and I'm happy despite all that. And despite how traumatic it was being there, which people don't even know the half of what went on behind the scenes, it was also, as oddly enough, the happiest time in my life because I was finally free. I was finally free, free of all the trauma that was mentally holding me back. You have internal shackles that's holding you back from things when realistically, all I gotta do is just let go. And as soon as you let go, you're automatically free. So I was 100% myself. My personality, my responses, my answers, I gave no F's at all about anything. I was like, if people like me, they like me. If they don't, I don't care. I don't want them to like me if they don't want to like me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm tired of being a slave to everyone's opinions. I'm tired of worrying about what everyone's thinking. I'm tired of being held back in my life because of that person, that person, that person, when in reality, the only person that really matters is the people that you love most. And those people understand you because tomorrow you may not be here. So those people who are hating you and all that and judging you, they're also not going to be here. So go do what makes you happy. And I wrote that all in my book.
Yeah, and again, we'll put all the links in there for people to, track it down because what I'm hearing from you is the resilience that you've been able to build up from putting yourself in situations that maybe you didn't know were going to be that tough, but because your dream's so high, nothing's going to come easy. And if you're committed to your mission and your vision, then you're going to have that resilience to then find yourself. And again, I've seen so many times where people do become, when you talk about isolation, solitary confinement, in many ways, we know the effect that has on the brain. We know how that changes people, but you found a strength from it rather than having it take you down. But now we're going to jump forward, and thank you for sharing that because it's fascinating. We could talk about it all day, but I also know you got a show you got to get to perform in tonight as well. Bodybuilding. Now, I know you're not the bodybuilding. I know it's the fit, the model side of it, but it's a form of bodybuilding. The discipline is huge. What got you to say, I want to qualify and go in to the Olympia event in 2025?
I have been trying to do this since I was 14 years old. I joined my first gym when I was 12. But it was the YMCA and I got a trainer. And then I joined a women's gym at 13 called Curves. And
Hmm.
then I told my mom, I was like, Mommy, this is like kind of like sissy stuff. Like I want a real gym. So when I went to high school at 14, 15, she brought me to a few real gyms and I chose which one I liked. And the one that I chose was like the grungiest one in the basement that just like with iron dumbbells and plates and stuff. And I loved it. And this Polish woman was walking by and I was like, oh my God, mommy, that's what I want. I want quads like that. I want legs like that. Like there was like these really like muscular quads and hamstrings just popping. And I was like, wow, this woman is so hot. I want to look like that. And I've been chasing that since I was 14 years old. So something always got in the way. I always wanted to do this. Like I remember watching in high school the fitness Olympics. Was it Olympics or was it bodybuilding for fitness and how they did a routine,
It was,
right?
yeah, it was like they had the aerobics fitness
Yes,
competitions and people,
yes,
yeah, they look fit and healthy.
yes. That's what I wanted to do. Because I wanted to perform. and have a nice physique. But then when I got older, I saw that they had the bikini division. I was like, oh my God, I want to do the bikini division. But then the same year that that bikini division that I was going to compete, my mom goes into a coma. So I've been trying to do this for so many years where this year I'm just like, I'm doing it, no matter what happens. And I ended up winning my first show in three categories. I won overall and all three categories is my second show, which qualified me to go to the Olympia and the Olympia Amateur. And I was just so excited that I can do that and get to compete and perform on stage. And it makes me feel so alive. I love it. I love lifting weights and looking good, and I love it.
We know it has a dynamic effect on our brain because of the neurochemicals that are released from athletic performance, moving, lifting. We also know muscles have a direct relationship to longevity in life and being able to, again, live life, not get caught up sitting on the ground, or lying in a bed watching other people live. But the foundation you had starting at 14 years of age must have been so dynamic in your ability to then make the transition from weight trainer, fitness lover, looking great onto the stage. How long was your actual training for the Olympia? And tell us about the discipline because I know it's not easy. It's a lifestyle.
So the time I came out here is when I started really like I've always been in the gym since I was 14, but I was never consistent and I was never consistent with my eating. And even when I was consistent, I was doing it all wrong. So it like didn't even matter if I was going to be good for years. Like I didn't appropriately follow a plan. And every time I hired a coach or a trainer, it was like they weren't invested in me and they just gave me cookie cutter and like I was desperately looking for help for years. But then it wasn't until I moved out here in 2022 where I joined Gold's Venice that really changed my life in the bodybuilding world and my life period because I'm so much happier with my current physique because that's what I've always wanted to achieve. In my mind, I've always looked like this, which is crazy. And then when I would see photos, it's like, oh my God, why do I look like that? I thought I looked like this. But like my body finally matches how I've always envisioned myself to look. So it feels so nice to finally, after all these years, achieve my goal. And it was Gold's Venice and learning from not just trainers. They're not I've learned from legends. I work out with Arnold every now and then. I like there's so many legends in that gym that I've worked out with that I've spoken to that not just spoken to. Like people come there, they meet people, hey, what's up? They're like fans. These people became my friends, you know, and we really connected and like relate on a different level. And I've taken things from everyone, and because again, I'm an educator, so I've taken things from everyone to sculpt my physique. So I've been training for this Olympia since 2022.
I'm a big believer that knowledge is power because, like you said, there's a lot of cookie cutter. Everyone does the same thing, and we're not inspired. And I've been down to Venice Golds many times, and it has its own atmosphere. It is the place of legends. I work out at Gold's Gym out here in Thousand Oaks, and as much as it's a nice place, it's a different. You can't replicate what you have there. I want to ask, coming from a performing background, and I know you won a bunch of events before getting to the Olympia. How much do you think your ability to perform and feel comfortable on stage contributes to your victory? Because I'm always honest. When I saw Samson in the final, and this is the men's open, Mr. Olympia, the grandest of prizes they have. On Friday night, he looked great. I thought it was close, but I thought he could win it. But when he walked out on Saturday, and that's how much your body can change in 24 hours, he looked defeated walking out. Now I look at it and say, Arnold, even if he wasn't in his top shape, would have walked out as a performer. This is my stage. I'm still, and it'd be hard to go against him. And yet, performance is part of the presentation. And I knew Samson had lost when he walked out because I could tell he was defeated. What's your experience with yourself having that amazing performing background, show business, understand that it's showtime, and then getting out and winning?
I think it's definitely a very big advantage. because that's what I do. It's who I am. I'm a performer. I'm born to entertain. That's my life. So I feel that the stage is my Broadway, and that's my performance. So you'll never see me not performing while I'm on that stage. I'm always going to hold my head up high no matter what goes on. I don't look at the other competitors. I'm in my own head because nothing else matters except for my performance that day. Everyone brings their best self. There's nothing that like the style of training that I've had is from Russian coaches.
Mm.
And the Russian skating coaches are intense. That's a whole nother topic. But like how I was trained during competitions is unreal, which is why I really don't get nervous. I don't care. And that's not that I don't care. I just mean like I'm not phased by high pressure environments,
Mm.
you know? Um, yeah, the only thing that I would say made me anxious was just the timing of the meals. That was bothersome to me. I wasn't anxious to get on stage. It was more like I have to eat at this time. I have to eat 10 minutes before I get on stage. I have to eat. And then like you have all these people like rushing me. And it just like made me a little like, oh my God, like this is not fun anymore. Like I don't like being rushed and like I just want to perform. Just leave me alone. Tell me what to eat, when to eat it. Like, don't make me like calculate all this stuff. Like, I just need a designated person backstage with me that can just like tell me what to do, when to do it, and I would be more like calmer. But when I perform, I'm happy.
Yeah, there's no place like stage. I mean, stage is home. But again, talking about going onto the Olympia stage, and what a gift most people will never ever get to even see from the audience, let alone get to do it as a competitor. Did you have a body part that you found was the most stubborn, that gave you the most feeling of accomplishment when you overcame that? Or what was it you were focused on going in, that this is how I'm going to be in my best shape?
This is gonna sound so sick, what I'm gonna say. I don't care, I'll say it anyway. The stage didn't feel big enough for me. It felt like it was too small for me that I'm bigger than the stage, that I want to change lives all around the world and it wasn't enough. So going up there, actually, it was nice, but I wasn't fulfilled. I was just like, I want more. This is not where I'm supposed to be. I want to touch the world, not just the stage. I want so much more than this. Weird, right?
Actually, I admire you for saying it, and it's not weird because sometimes walls keep us in. And when you want to perform and you see, there was so many people watching when you were up on stage. I mean, there was the main area and there's people back and all the different stuff in there. But I know exactly what you're feeling. So it doesn't sound weird. Some people may think so, but I love the fact that you recognize that, because that's what also drives you on. A lot of people will get there and they've accomplished their goals and now they're happy. And what am I going to do the rest of my life? I know you're driving so much further. Is there any advice you could give to somebody that's wanting to follow that fitness path? Maybe just a couple of tips that they could walk away and say, I didn't know that. I'm so glad you shared that with me. Or maybe I know it. I just needed the reinforcement.
So fitness path for the stage or fitness path in general?
I would say kind of across, and that's a great question, across between both, because I may want to get on stage, but I don't qualify. So I can't get there, but I want to be healthy for life and feel great if I go to the beach, if I go to the pool. I want to know I'm in my best shape. What would you advise them?
The goal is to stay ready. Do not do this for a show. You have to do this for your life because health is wealth. If you lack, if you lack health, you have absolutely nothing. And I've seen it time and time again. My mom went into a coma at 53 years old. She was not healthy. She didn't go to the gym. She ate whatever she wanted. And I know a lot of people like that. And then I know a lot of people who are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they have abs. And they go to Gold's Gym in Venice, and they look fantastic. And so the main thing is always to stay ready. And how do you stay ready? Well, you don't put junk into your body. Those little Cheetos and those little cheat meals here and there, that one will rot and stay in your body for months to years. That one bad oil fried food. It kill it. Imagine a Ferrari and you're gonna take French fry oil and put it in the Ferrari. You think it's gonna take one day to heal? No, like now we're gonna have to bring it to the repair shop. Now that guy's gonna have to figure out what's wrong with it and now be there for maybe years. Oh, there's not a part for it. Now you gotta wait to fix it. So the same thing with your body, but it's even worse because you're a human being and filling your body with junk is poisoning your mind, it's poisoning your insides, it's poisoning everything. And there, why? For 1 minute of gratification, just one, why? It's and it's hard to overcome it because I see people in the gym like they ask me for advice and direction because like I have this one girl, she doesn't stop eating sugar. And I was like, you come to the gym every day. You put in 3 hours a day. I'm like, and you don't have results. I straight up told her. She asked me. I'm like, imagine if you just stopped eating the sugar, how much your body would transform. Don't you want to see results from your hard work? She's like, of course, but I can't stop. I was like, you can stop. It takes 21 days to form a habit. You have to cut it off cold turkey and don't give in. You have to distract your mind and do an activity, do something else. Like you could do like slushies. I ice slushies and put like little what I do, I take like electrolyte powder, make a slushie out of it, and you sip on it, and it's like, kind of like sugar, but it's not. And once you pass the 21 days, you don't want it anymore. And guess what? She did it. She came up to me, she pointed at me, she's like, I see you telling me, what are you doing? And she's like, look at me, I transformed. I'm like, I know. Her arms are sculpted and cut up in like a month. Transformation. Like this. It's so easy once you just do it right. The results come quick when you cut out the junk and they still the sugar and the hidden sugars. Sometimes you think these smoothies are so bad. I was getting the smoothies outside the Gold's Gym Venice truck. I had a shake every day. I gained 10 pounds in a few weeks. And then I cut it, I lost weight like this. The amount of sugar is bullshit in these hidden shakes. Weight gainers. I talk a lot.
No, but it's the truth. I see it as well. And it's people want the results, but they're not willing to have the dedication or it feels uncomfortable. And I say the magic we seek is in the work we avoid. It's
Ooh.
there. We're all made to have that. And yet we won't commit to the one thing we know is holding us back because it might make us uncomfortable. And I agree with you. There's no even a percentage because it's the truth. When we cut out what we know is bad for us and make it our lifestyle through the commitment, it's amazing how we no longer crave it. We're not even attracted to what we were addicted to before. And the results of feeling well, of feeling healthy, of feeling fit far outweigh any feeling on the fake dopamine that gets released from eating something that's not good for us or drinking something that's not good. And the effect, it's longevity of power in life, not just that. I know we're limited on time, but I want to get to the where are you going now with all the experience you've got? I know you've got new paths. Tell us about where you're going now.
Sure. So I haven't released it yet. I haven't announced it yet, but I guess I'll tell you guys here. I'm releasing my second book called This Is My Era, and that is going to be released in December.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, the first book shows you how to remove all the roadblocks and find your path in your life. And then the second book shows you how to transform, specifically for women to transform. Men can read it too if they'd like. I'm sure it could be helpful, but if you like me, you'll want to read it. But it's geared towards women to reinvent themselves. Because I believe that who you were then is not who you are now, and you can become the woman you've always wanted to be.
Your age is never the reason.
No. And that's what people think. Age does not exist. And the beautiful thing about Los Angeles is that taught me that here. People were telling me, they're like, oh my God, if you're not 21 years old, you're never going to make it in Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. But that's not true. The most beautiful people I see here are a lot older than me, like a lot older than me. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, if I can look like that by that age, I'm like, I'll be pretty happy. And like everyone just is good looking here because everyone works out here and everyone eats good food here. Everyone's at the healthy stores buying the healthy foods and eating right. There's endless opportunities to be healthy here in LA. And almost everyone is fit here. And it's nice that everyone's healthy.
I have to add in here, you become your environment.
Yeah.
It's so real. And the most important environment is the one you create inside yourself
Yeah.
first. Because if you can be, swayed one way or the other relative to who they are, you'll also never be in control of your life. But I will say where you live is very important. So being able to go to Venice, being in that environment will drive you and keep you committed. Where I live, it's the opposite. It's people aren't working out as much. They're more, aging is the excessive pursuit of sedentary comfort. They want to sit down. They want to be able to do the comfort foods. And so I love where you're living because I was in that environment for a while too. And so anybody listening, I'd say put yourself in an environment that's committed to the same goals that you have, because that will make a major difference. It's very hard to swim upstream
Yeah,
when you want to go the opposite direction.
definitely.
So what else? Because a little birdie told me, and you're that little birdie, by the way, movies, your friends had a film festival that you
Yeah.
left Olympia to come back for. You're expanding into the showbiz world because of your vision. What's that look like?
Sure. So that was always the goal coming out here was to produce my own film and create. Initially, it was just to act, but I'm so much more than just acting because I have so many ideas, and the ultimate goal is to bring back old Hollywood. I feel that they don't have movies anymore like they used to have that was so iconic. Like the older movies are iconic and it's never been duplicated. And I just feel that the film industry has taken a turn. Like there's a lot of great movies, yes, but they're not iconic and they're not legendary like the older ones are. Like, The Godfather, Scarface, Rocky, just to name a few. And I want to bring that back. And I have a very unique mind, very creative on a crazy level. So to give you an example, I had my podcast when I first started it in 2023, and I didn't want to release my podcast till someone could help me create an introduction for it. And I wanted to get a helicopter to land on my roof, and I wanted to get someone to do AI simulator to make the helicopter cut the Hollywood sign and slash it with that and write the Athena Vas show in it and then start my podcast like, oh, all right, I'm here. And I couldn't make it happen. And I was so upset about it. I almost made it happen, but they wanted like a lot of money for it. So I'm like, nah, forget about it. But yeah, just to give you like a little smidget of an idea that my mind just is always thinking like really large and in very different ways. And I have that creative vision, and I've always been creating since I was a kid. So even when I did those projects, if they were group projects, I would take my mom's video camera and I would create a mini short film. And I didn't even remember I did that till just last year. And I was like, oh my God, I've literally been producing things since I was in third grade. And yeah, getting 162 auditions and not booking one of them discouraged me. I'm like, that's what I really want to do. I'm like, I don't want to act in things that I'm not even passionate about. I want to create that's going to inspire the world and help people go after their dreams and give them motivation for their lives to succeed and be better and show them you're not alone.
That's going back to the Rocky movie, right? But the real life of behind the Rocky movie of Sylvester Stallone selling his dog, couldn't afford it. They offered him $25,000, I believe it was, to buy the rights to his movie. He said, no, that's my movie. And look where that took him. You've got to be self-driven. And I agree with you. When I look at movies, I look back to the things like Shawshank Redemption. I look back to Forrest Gump. I look back to some of the classics of my era, and then we go back to Ben-Hur and all the ones, further Spartacus and all those things. We've got away from telling stories. We've got away from the humanity. Now it's all action-packed AI, special effects, and it can't touch us emotionally the same way that the classics touched us emotionally. I remember walking out of Greece before I became a professional dancer and ballet, jazz, all the other stuff. I remember walking out of Greece as this action man. I was young, but footballer. I'm going to be a professional footballer. I was training with the Royal Marines, and I was dancing, swinging off of like lampposts because of Greece,
Wow.
what it did to us emotionally. So I love what you're doing. And I know you say you don't have a script. I know you got a script. There's something, if it's not written down, it's in your head, you know where you're going.
Have many scripts.
Yeah, exactly. What's going to be the next step for you to get this, not just, I know it's off the ground, because when we think about it and we put it down, it's already off the ground. What would make this the greatest year ahead for you as you venture into this new direction of now, basically you own the ship?
Being able to complete and execute every idea that's been in my mind for the last couple of years in 1 year, less than 1 year.
And how are you going to do that? What's your steps?
I'm putting myself in a retreat. So I'm going into for November, I'm going into hibernation mode. I'm actually leaving LA for 1 month to go stay with a friend and only focus on writing, completing my projects and executing them in 1 month. So that I can get I'm launching like a program to help people. Like I said before, this is my era to help women. And I'm building that because right after that, I'm going to work on selling my scripts and producing them. And I also have a TV game show that I've written as well. And look at pitching that to networks. I do have contacts. I have people that I know. And if a network does not take it, then I'm creating it myself. So I'm going to put myself in this retreat where I only focus on my work and that's it. And it has to get done no matter what. Even if I don't sleep, it will get done because there's no time like the present. I put it on the back burner for 3 years now because I was focusing on bodybuilding. Bodybuilding right now will always be my number one, but not competing because I'm so much bigger than the stage. It's not enough for me. And I mean that in not a cocky way at all. It means like I want to help the world. Like that's the reason why I wanted to get out of the classroom because when I was teaching the kids, it wasn't enough to reach a couple kids. Like it's not enough for me to just inspire just people on stage. Like I want to reach the world. I want to help the world pursue their goals. I want to help the world laugh and be happy. And most people, they don't know they even need help until they see a movie and then they get inspired and it changes their life. So I want to do that for people. I want to be the reason why now people have changed their lives and they're happier because the world is just so miserable. But if I can help people be happy and pursue their dreams, then that'll create more kindness in the world and people won't be so jealous of everyone else who succeeds because now they can succeed too.
Isn't the Olympia a gift for you? Because if you hadn't have been on that stage, you might still be chasing that vision of needing to be there. And that's why I say to people, set the highest goals. Don't just set a goal, set the ones that mean so much to you. Because when you get there, you're going to realize there is more out there for you to do. But until you achieve that one, you won't know because we think that's the ultimate. I'm sure you felt getting onto the Olympia stage is the ultimate. And then you get there and go, hang on a minute, it's amazing. It's
Wow.
anyone that gets on is incredible. But now if I hadn't have experienced that, I wouldn't be where I'm going now. The second thing that jumps at me is look at what you went through in Greece. Look at the isolation you had. Look at where you actually, from what you've said today, that's where you really found yourself. You let go of the trauma. You created your own therapy. And now, with your visioning in mind and in action, you're now going back into isolation. It's incredible what you discover, even though you're going to be there with your friend, you're taking yourself out of the noise and finding your own space. Very similar to what you had to do in Greece to win. I have no doubts that you're going to win.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank
One
you.
thing I'd love to finish with, if you could give one piece of advice to the world that you would love to be remembered for, what would that be?
Inspiring the world, becoming a legacy. I want people to remember me for all eternity, bringing joy to the world and into people's lives.
Well, I have no doubt you're going to be working on that and achieving it. over many years ahead, keeping yourself super fit, keeping yourself mentally sharp. And that will come from being goal driven and being yourself.
Thank you.
Athena, thanks so much for joining us on Born Superhuman. And I look forward to continuing to see your journey to the legacy that you dream of.
Thank you so much for having me. You're wonderful.
Thanks so much.